When I go to restaurants, yeah, I do get charged for water.
Yes, sometimes. I think nowadays all water are not free.
I don't think I've seen like a single establishment that offers water for free.
Normally, I paid for water for around like 50 cents.
I wish that I don't really pay for it also, because sometimes when you think about it, it's just water.
We spoke to about 30 people. Almost all said they were being charged for water. We also asked on social media,
should tap water be free when you dine out? Well, the debate is back.
Over 1,600 of you responded. 38% said you get charged for water almost always, while 45% said you get charged sometimes. It's no longer uncommon to pay for water. Personally, I've been charged between 80 cents and $3. This week on Talking Point, I want to find out whether restaurants should be charging for water and what it really costs when the glass is on the house. Meet Yi Yu Tai. He feels so strongly about being charged for water that he went online and started a petition calling for tap water to be served free at restaurants in Singapore. I see you've got the water. I assume it's free?
Yes, it is.
Okay. A lot of consumers, myself included, may not be happy about paying money for tap water, but I've gotten used to it. So why are you raising this with a petition?
In recent years, I've noted a trend when increasingly more and more F&B establishments either charge for tap water or they don't provide tap water at all, instead asking you to buy alternative like bottled mineral water. And I always felt that this trend was not right to the consumers. But I guess I've always just gone along with it. But the tipping point came when I went with my family to a buffet. It was a barbecue buffet. I paid about almost $40, including service charge per adult. I think a barbecue buffet, the food is very salty. At some point of time, I needed some water. And I went to ask the waiter. What I was told is that if I wanted some water, I had to purchase a free flow beverage at $5. At that point of time, I was so thirsty, so I had to go for that. It just got me thinking, this is a trend. I just want the most simple thing, tap water.
You started your petition end May and you have slightly over 4,000 signatures. Are you happy with this?
I guess it shows that I'm not the only one that feel this way. And I feel that there are quite a lot of consumers who are actually also quite unhappy with this trend.
If that's the case, shouldn't you be getting more signatures?
Singaporeans sometimes, you can just go with the flow. Some people may think that, okay, it's just a few dollars anyway, so what's there to it? But for me, it's not so much about the money. I feel a sense of injustice that the establishments are doing this to the customers.
So exactly what are you asking for with the petition?
Okay, my bottom line is I would like the government to mandate that tap water should be served free in dine F&B establishments.
But businesses say water is not free. They have to pay for water. What's your response to that?
I have made my calculations on that. Okay, you can see from the PUB website, water costs 1 cubic meter, which is 1,000 liters of water, potable water, costs $3.24. With GST, that's $3.53, and that is enough for 5,000 glasses of water, so making the price per glass of water 0.07 cents.
Okay, so this tiny glass is going to be about
0.07 cents.
0.07 cents.
I feel that, in terms of things like serving water, all this should be covered by this 10% service charge.
Here in Singapore, when you eat out, chances are you've spotted it on the menu, service charge. A service charge is meant to cover some of the restaurant's operating costs, things like table setup, cleaning, and kitchen prep. It also helps cover staff-related expenses. Some restaurants use it to support or supplement staff wages since tipping isn't common here. Ultimately, it's up to each restaurant to decide whether to impose a service charge and how that money is distributed. Popular food blogger Leslie Tay has voiced his frustration with what seems to be covered, or not, under the service charge.
Hello. Very nice meeting you. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, in this restaurant,
Yeah.
the water is free.
Yes.
Okay.
A few years ago, we went to this restaurant, we brought the birthday cake, and suddenly they told us, we're going to charge you for KKH,
Like a corkage.
like a corkage. That was the first time I heard about KKH. I was taken aback because it's a casual restaurant, right? We just brought a cake, we cut the cake lah, never mind, you just give us tissue paper, whatever. If you don't want to provide the plates, fine, and they insisted that they're going to charge. So in the end, we took the cake, and we went home and we cut it ourselves. Sometimes I feel that as a culture, as a Singapore culture, service is not really regarded as something that is so highly regarded that you need to pay for it. I'm just saying from my personal observation.
Yeah, but water is different because water is an actual material. Do you think that water should be covered under the service charge? How strongly do you feel about it?
Well, when I travel to Australia, to Japan, water is always free. When you travel to places where tap water is not drinkable, then of course you expect to pay for the water. But in Singapore, water is off the tap, you can drink. So tap water should be given free as part of the service charge.
As a consumer, do you know what is covered under the service charge?
I have no idea. Service charge is like something that we all grew up just paying, right? When you go overseas, in Europe, in Japan, in Australia, there's no such thing.
But on the other hand, because I also just visited the United States, we all know that there's almost an expected 20% tip that you have to give either in cash or on your credit card. So that effectively serves as a surcharge, isn't
Correct.
it?
And I also don't like that kind of culture because then you're expected to give that tip, right? And if you don't tip them enough, then you get a black face. So the service charge is good in the sense that I just pay you a flat fee and everything is settled. But in Singapore, the thing with the service charge is that you have to pay the 10% whether or not you feel the service is good. I actually went to a restaurant before where they charged 5% because the owner said, because not all our facilities are available and we don't have enough waitresses, so we're only charging our customers 5% because we know that we can't provide a full service. Nowadays, even when you go to a restaurant and you have to scan the code to order your own food, and then after that you go to the counter and you pay, the service charge only covers the person bringing the food onto your table, Then, is that 10%? But as I'm a consumer, so I have to make it very clear, I don't run a business, so I don't know what the challenges are in the business.
Many F&B businesses are finding it difficult to make their business sustainable, never mind profitable. So is it really fair to expect them to be serving free water on top of it?
I understand that businesses are having a hard time, but it still doesn't explain why restaurants such as this one can provide water for free when others can't.
So, what does it really take to serve water at a restaurant? Only way to find out. Roll up my sleeves and get stuck in.
Hi, Angela.
Hi Diana, welcome to Solo.
Thank
Come on
you.
in.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's 9:30 a.m. and I'm reporting to work at this restaurant in the heart of the city.
All right, buongiorno. Buongiorno. Okay, so today we have Diana joining us with the team. We just want to brief on today's lunch operations. So we have 25 packs for lunch today. Diana will be getting ready the bottles. So grab these 2 bottles and then we'll go head over to behind the kitchen to top up the water.
Okay.
Okay, so here we'll be topping up the water. So before the service starts, we'll actually fill up the bottles with the room temperature bottle. Probably we can leave 1 bottle, maybe half filled, so that we can top up the warm water in case somebody actually asks for the warm water. Yep, I think that's good.
Okay, so this is for the warm water.
Yep. So we grab the bottles and then we will go over to the fridge. We're gonna put this water to be chilled.
It's literally a cellar full of water. And that's for when customers ask for ice water or chilled water.
Yeah. So now we're putting in room temperature water over here
Okay.
to get ready for the service. We'll put this over here to get ready for the warm water in case someone actually asks for a warm water. Here's the warm water cups that we need to change over. So all these things are to prepare for the water service. Are you ready?
Yes, let's do it. Lemon, whoops.
So much.
Okay.
So this for the warm water.
Table 14. Okay, your warm water. I'm just going to put the bottle over there. You're welcome.
Those that are running out already, you can start to go behind the kitchen.
So we're mid-service right now, and the main courses are starting to be served. Actually, it is a lot more work than I expected it to be. Apart from the fact that you've got to remember who has ordered what, it's topping up the water, and also guests have very different likes and dislikes.
This restaurant doesn't serve free water. Still, every single one of the 38 people who had lunch here ordered water.
So look at all these bottles from lunch service. My job now is to refill them to get ready for dinner service.
Yeah, so now he's gonna wash down the glasses. All the glasses are actually washed. We're gonna bring everything out. Yeah.
Should we sit here?
So we do actually charge $3 per person for water before the taxes and the service charge. Maybe add up it's about $350 per person. It's free flow. So there's still and sparkling and warm water as well, yeah.
At $3 plus per head, it seems to me that it's slightly on the higher side. Would you say so?
We did our analysis of the restaurants around in this area. So being centrally located, us charging $3, I would say is pretty reasonable. Adding up the operating costs.
What are the operating costs of serving water?
So Diana, the tap that we actually operate just now, that is actually the filtered system or the filtration system that we actually set up. To actually set up the system itself, the initial cost is about $6,000 to $7,000. We also need the gas tanks. So to actually maintain the sparkling water on a monthly basis, we'll probably look at about $150 per month to actually replenish the gas tanks. Aside from that, we also, in case anything happens, the maintenance fee of the system, probably another add-on up to $200, but that only if the machine has some issues. Aside from that, logistics-wise, we need the cellar to actually store the bottles of the filled waters, and that also add-ons to the cost itself.
Well, what about manpower? I mean, one of the things that I noticed when I was doing the service was that clearly you don't hire someone to serve water only. It's part of the overall service.
So with the $3, it is also our responsibility to ensure that your water is continuously topped up, and of course, in case you want to change or in case you want to have both waters, we will actually serve it to you.
Why do you serve filtered water to begin with?
So this year we actually got onto Michelin Guide 2025, and as such, we would actually like to provide a better quality water to our customers.
Is that really a difference?
I actually brought over the tap water as well as the filtered water. I'll let you have a taste to see whether you can find out the difference. There you go.
Oh,
all right,
okay.
and just a little here.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay, just enough.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go for this one first.
Sure.
If I'm not wrong, this is tap and this is your filtration water.
You are absolutely right.
What if I'm not a particularly fussy customer? I just want tap water because I don't want to pay $3.50. Why don't you give people that option?
I totally understand the point of view, but there's also a side reason for us to move into filtered water. There's a little profit margin. It does helps the company a little because as you can see, a lot of restaurants are closing down. So with this little cost, it does allow us to sustain the business in some way or another.
But you also have a 10% service charge. So the 10% service charge cannot cover the free flow of tap.
Yeah, definitely not. There's a lot of underlying costs in operating the business itself.
Should restaurants offer free tap water as an alternative?
Now that I have actually moved on to filtered water, I will stick to offering filtered water. Better quality drinking water, a better taste in terms of the food and the ambience, it comes all together.
So does water add on to the workload? For sure, it is extra work, especially since we have warm water. And at one point, I realized that we were actually running out of sparkling water. So I had to go back into the kitchen to top up the bottles. I was surprised at how fast the bottles were going, to be honest. It may be extra work, but some places still serve water for free. So how do they manage it? Professor Kwan Hui Lee from the Singapore Institute of Technology has been researching how the restaurant business works for almost 2 decades. I've learned that providing a water service does take a bit of effort and costs money. So how is it that some restaurants can do it for free?
The high-end restaurants, for example, right now we are in a lovely lecture hotel, and these type of restaurants provide water free to customers, because the margin from food already might be covering all these costs.
So what you're saying is that if they have enough or a good enough margin from food, from selling food, then that allows them to, or rather give them some leeway to cover the water as well. So what is a good profit margin to make so that I can get free water?
For restaurants in Singapore, 10% of profit margin are considered very good. In other countries, margin could be 10 to 30%.
What would be considered a very low profit margin?
Maybe only 1 to 2%. And I believe a lot of restaurants right now are in that range, especially those independent or small restaurants.
I've been to some restaurants that are not really that high end, and yet they can provide free water. How do they do it?
They may introduce other mechanisms to lower the cost. For example, instead of having waiter to bring you the water, they may have a station for people to go and serve water themselves, or they have QR code for people to order food or order any of the other dishes, and then they can cut costs in hiring more manpower.
Okay, so basically what you were saying is that they will find cost efficiency somewhere else to subsidize the cost of providing water for free.
Yes.
Okay. If that is the case, why can't other restaurants do that? Especially when most of us are already paying a 10% service charge.
Some restaurants worry also to offer free tap water because they may lose profit of selling drinks.
In Singapore, all restaurants can decide whether to charge for water or not. But in some other countries, serving certain drinks comes with an additional requirement. In places like the UK, New Zealand, and parts of Australia, bars and restaurants that serve alcohol are required by law to serve free drinking water. Perhaps because when you're drinking alcoholic beverages, water is your best friend. It keeps you from getting dehydrated, which means less of that nasty hangover the next morning. Also, if you take sips of water in between your beers and cocktails, chances are you drink a little bit more slowly and a little bit less. Here in Singapore, there is no such rule, and some bars and restaurants that serve alcohol still make you pay for water. I'm at a popular pub right in the city centre. When Sheila began working here more than a decade ago, customers could get tap water for free. These days, though, that's changed. You have to pay for bottled water instead.
So you used to give free tap water, but you don't do this anymore. Why is that so?
Because after the pandemic, we observed that the guests come here for one round of drinks. After one round of drinks, they will ask a round of free water. So for 2 to 3 hours, they stay there and only order one drinks and then keep on asking for free water.
So what you're saying is that actually serving free tap water became an opportunity cost to you. You could have been using that table to serve new guests and get more revenue.
Yes.
In other parts of the world, for example, UK and parts of Australia, the law says that if you serve alcohol, then you must provide free tap water. Do you think Singapore should have such a policy?
Each country, there's an own approach. Here in Singapore, we have a very tight margin because of the high rental costs and the labor costs. I think it's very hard to sustain a business like this in F&B if they really implement that.
Take, for example, this lovely lychee martini here. So I ordered this drink, and because alcohol actually dehydrates me, and I say, could I please have a glass of free tap? What would you say to me?
Would you like to have sparkling or distilled water?
No, thank you. I would just like to have tap, please.
We only serve distilled and sparkling water,
Okay.
bottled distilled water. We do provide free water. For example, if the guest is already drunk, then if the guests also want to take medication, we provide free water.
So it sounds like your policy is flexible,
Yes.
Depending on the circumstances.
Yes.
If Singapore ever implements a law that says that licensed establishments, meaning those that sell alcohol, need to provide free tap water, how would you respond?
Of course, we will comply, but then we might increase the price of our menu.
I see. So in order to provide a free tap water service, it might force you to review your menu prices, and customers could end up paying a little bit more. In other words, you will build the free water service into your menu prices.
Yes.
So, should restaurants charge for water? Some may see free water as a mark of good service, but the fact is, with rising costs, restaurants have to make sure that their businesses are sustainable as well. So maybe we should just accept the fact that the next time we eat out, paying for water is sometimes just part of the deal.